We'll see how it accelerates. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're gonna be going over a 2020 Land Rover Defender First Edition. This particular one only has about 2,400 miles on it, so it's still basically brand new. First and foremost though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Land Rover here in downtown Salt Lake for giving me some time with this Defender. Check out the inventory link below. Let's get into the video. So under the hood, we have a turbocharged 3-liter inline 6 that's paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs are 395 horsepower and then 406 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go over the front end of the First Edition. So first, notice we've got the cool textured material here at the top. If you get the protection package, it adds that pretty much all over the Defender. And then coming down below, we've got these LED lights right here. And if they're flickering at all on camera, they don't do that in person. That's just because the frame rate of the camera with the projector bulbs. And then notice we got the fog light right here with the parking sensors. And then notice how everything pretty much matches with like the silver here on the front end. And then we do kind of have the darker plastic there at the very bottom of the Defender. Got our gigantic Defender logo, and other than that, there's the front end. Now coming around the side here, we've got two 55mm tires wrapped around 20-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear. Notice that we have the red brake calipers, which contrast nicely to the silver, and then the black on the wheels. And then we also get these more aggressive all-terrain tires as well, which looks great. And then notice with the plastic molding there for the fender flare, and then all down the side. So again, it creates nice contrast between the silver and then that element. We've got the vent here on the side. It says Defender on it. Got the blacked out mirror right there, and then notice more silver there kind of in that area. And then notice that the whole roof has been blacked out. So the contrast with this I think is great, because again, you've got like the silver there mostly in the middle, and then at the bottom it's pretty much all black, and at the top it's all black. So it looks cool. Now here's our key fob for the Defender. Something I think is funny with the Defender is obviously press this, and right, it's meant to unlock the back, but obviously it looks like the hatch would go that way, but it's a Defender, so it's got the tailgate that goes this way. So yeah, I think that's kind of funny that the key fob still has that on it. But anyways, let's pop in the back. Now we've got all of our rubber floor mats chilling here in the back. Cool feature though back here, notice we've got this for the air suspension. So this raises and lowers the back, so it makes it so that the loading floor would be lower, for example, if you lower it down. So then, well, it's easier to load stuff up here into the rear. Other than that, storage space is great back here. Notice that you've got the little vent there on the side, and then we've got the cup holders here, because this particular one does come with the whole like jump seat situation, whatever you want to call it, but you guys can see that underneath there for the third row seating. And then you've got a little outlet right there, and then notice this is the same as what you get there on the front end in terms of the design, and it's on the back of the seats, so it kind of protects everything if you do throw stuff back here. But yeah, that's all. Now let's finish things up here in the rear of the Defender. So the spare tire is on the back in kind of like old school off-road SUV fashion. Got our Defender First Edition badge right here with the signature LED lights. You guys know I'm a huge fan of these lights. I think they look great, especially at night when they're actually on, but you guys can see it right there, just how those look. I think that's just cool design-wise. Parking sensors at the bottom. We've got the receiver hitch right there, and other than that, that's all for the back. Now here's the door panel in the rear. I love how they have the exposed rivets here. Definitely gives it that kind of like hardcore off-roader look, but nice soft touch leather here. We're gonna rest your arm, and you've got that for the safety tech side of things, right? It's the blind spot monitoring, and I love the speakers look for the sound system. And then here are the seats. So it's kind of like a mix between leather and cloth. Looks great, feels great as well. And then notice we've got all the protection here at the bottom. Obviously makes cleaning a whole lot easier. And then we've got all the climate controls here in the back for the rear passengers, bunch of charging ports as well. And well, show you. Now here's the door panel at the front. So again, we've got those exposed rivets, which look great. Again, same soft touch, and just listen to that, really nice. Now notice we've got all the window controls right here. We've got the mirror adjustments. This comes with memory seats, and then you've got more speakers here for the sound system. It's the Meridian sound system. Well, you guys can read. Anyways, here's the front seat. So again, that mixture of the cloth with the leather, really nice bolstering with the seats. Got the adjustment on the side of the seat. First edition plaque. Got the pedal layout down below with the hood latch release. Parking brake is in that area. Got the grab handle right here, and then again, more exposed rivets. I think that just looks so cool. But there's one more look before we pop in. Here's the steering wheel on the Defender. Really nice leather all around the steering wheel with the Defender logo. We've got a cruise control on one side, voice command phone controls on the other side. Got the turn signal / light stock, windshield wiper stock, and that's all. So here's the center gauge cluster right here, and notice that you've got a couple different screens you can scroll through. We had that navigation screen open first and foremost. But yeah, basically vehicle information, music, navigation, literally whatever you want that screen to show, pretty much it will show you. Now, we've got some different drive modes that we can go through with the Defender, and it doesn't really change a whole lot here with the center screen, but it does show you the drive modes. You've got your Eco, Comfort, Grass, Gravel, Snow, Mud, Ruts, Sand. We've got our Rock Crawl, we've got our Wade mode, and then we have our Configurable as well. And if you guys are wondering, these modes not only change things with the engine and transmission depending on the conditions and the driveline, but also it'll change with the air suspension how high the ride height is depending on what you're going to need. So like Wade mode, for example, it'll put the ride height really high so that you can wade through the most amount of water. Popping down below, we've got the infotainment system, which first off, response time on this is great. Notice we have our Wade sensing, which, I mean, obviously, if you do decide to go through some water, that is absolutely awesome that it'll actually give this to you. So notice that it gives you actual like amounts, like how high you can go before you're going to destroy your vehicle. I think that's cool. More vehicles need to offer that from the factory. And then also low traction launch is another huge thing if you do take it off-road. And then also how you can just look at the vehicle dimensions. Like, that's cool. Who else does this? No one. That's right. Other than that, yeah, like I said, great infotainment system. And let's go over the camera aspect of it. So notice that we've got the backup camera right here with all of the different viewpoints and those trajectory lines in the center. And then notice we've got an off-road mode, which changes things. And notice how it shows that on the side. And then we've got a towing mode as well, which gives you like that line straight in the center. So it's cool that depending on what you're doing, you can just easily access that. And then notice when we go from reverse to drive, it'll change the camera view, and notice that we've got all these other viewpoints that we can go through out of the front of the Defender. So basically parking this is easy. Now here we've got the shifter for that 8-speed automatic transmission. We do have a manual shift function if you want to shift the gears yourself. We've got our hill descent control over here with our auto stop start. We've got the climate controls, seat controls, and drive mode controls all in that area. I'll show you guys in a second. Low range, stability control, and then notice we've got the locker right there. But for the drive modes, press that, and then you can go through all of the different drive modes with the dial right there. Pretty cool. And then you've got the fan speed on the other side, which you can control, and notice it'll illuminate with that. So I think that is pretty cool. And then also this is for the air suspension to raise and lower all of it. Got the USBs and then a 12 volt right here, a couple cup holders. We've got the center console, and notice that it doubles as a fridge, which is definitely nice, especially for how hot it is today. Wireless phone charger as well. And then notice right here, more soft touch. You've got the grab handle, which has more soft touch. And then I like the texture of the material there at the very top of the dash. But notice it says Defender right there. There's another outlet. And then we've got the glove box right here. Pretty normal. And then we do have a full panoramic sunroof as well. And then notice we've got the windows there in the back, just like the old school Defender. And then we've got this, and we've got a camera mirror, which is very important if you ask me, especially from a safety perspective. I mean, yeah, absolutely love that piece of tech. Now, since this is a used Defender, I don't have the window sticker, but feel free to freeze the frame if you want to read this kind of option list that Land Rover Downtown nicely built out for you guys to see. But the cool thing, I think, is the warranty. So this is certified, and notice what you get with that certified pre-owned warranty. I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, there's that as well. And with all that being said, let's take her out and see how she drives. So let's talk about visibility with the Defender before we set off. There's your visibility over the hood. Both the mirrors, they have blind spot. And the rest of the rear. And let's set off. So we are setting off here in the Defender First Edition. And let's talk about road noise and ride quality. And this is great because this is actually the first time that I have had a chance to drive the new Defender in downtown Salt Lake, where obviously we've got quite a bit more traffic, more to deal with. And ride quality is so nice on this. Like, it really does feel like a full-blown luxury vehicle from a ride quality perspective, which is pretty crazy to think about because it's very capable off-road. Now, aside from that, cabin insulation is also really solid. I mean, you're really taking out, I mean, I didn't even hear the traffic driving by. That's how good it is from a cabin insulation perspective. And we've got a lot of construction happening here in downtown Salt Lake, so the roads will kind of be all over the place. Some of them will be nice, then we'll have like random stuff like this off to the side of the road that's not so nice. And so, yeah, it'll be some nice terrain for us to drive this through just to kind of test everything. But so far, so good, I will say that. I love this engine, super torquey, just tons of low-end torque. And yeah, it just does a really good job of just getting up, moving. I don't really have to get into it all that much. And it just, yeah, it's got nice punch to it. And this is really comfortable to drive. Like, it cools down. By the way, it's like over 90 degrees outside today. And the interior with this cools down really quick, which is another huge positive, obviously. And then on these seats, I like them a lot. So they're definitely more on the firm side, which I definitely prefer. So they're really supportive, which is great, especially if you have like back trouble or anything like that, because you want a lot of support. But on top of that, when you're off-road, you don't want a seat that's too soft. You want something that like just holds you in place and holds you up. And these seats definitely do that. They've got enough bolstering on them that they'll hold you in place. And then again, it's got the really nice amount of firmness as well. And then as for the steering, I haven't had a chance to take too many corners yet, but I will say that the steering definitely is very light, but we'll see how the directness is in just a little bit. Now, seeing how the steering is here, yeah, it's good from a directness standpoint. I guess we'll see the maneuverability between these traffic cones right here. Like I said, tons of construction. Yeah, the steering's it's pretty direct for what this is. Most off-road SUVs have like no directness. Bronco, well, the Bronco's pretty good. The Wrangler's horrible though. This actually has a good level of directness from the steering, and we'll see how it accelerates. Wow, gets up to speed really quick. Yeah, that engine is peppy, let me tell you. So yeah, let's get into summing things up here with this Defender First Edition. So first off, let's see what I did there. I think this looks great from an aesthetic standpoint with the accenting with the red brake calipers, the more aggressive all-terrain tires, and then the contrast between the black roof and then the silver as well. The interior on this is great, has all the stuff you need, none of the stuff that you don't need. So yeah, really good from an aesthetic standpoint, and comfort standpoint is great as well. Suspension's great, has more than enough power. There's really nothing that I can say bad about the new Defender. It's a great luxury SUV on-road, and it's got really good off-road capability. I guess the one thing that I'll say is if you are serious about off-roading, these wheels and tires are great for on-road use. They're great for snow, all that kind of stuff. But for like rock crawling and all that kind of stuff, I'd go for like a smaller wheel with a little bit higher profile tire. So like maybe like a 17-inch wheel or something like that. And then something that has, you know, maybe like, I bet you could fit 35s on this, but 33s for sure. And I think that would not only look great, but then obviously would be super capable from an off-road perspective. And so yeah, that's the 2020 Defender First Edition. I still think it is worth getting, and that's all. And that's going to sum things up for our video on this 2020 Land Rover Defender First Edition. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Land Rover here in downtown Salt Lake for giving me some time with the Defender. Check out their inventory link below. I'll see all of you in the next video.